Yo, 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 welcome back to the No Cut Sports Podcast with your host, Now Frazier. And today we got a few things we need to talk about. But before we get started, if you could for me, please like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe, man. Y'all already know. So today at 4 o'clock, the final roster will be finalized for the Philadelphia Eagles. But we do have a few things that we do need to talk about prior to that because some players were waived, released, traded, all that good stuff. And I haven't been on here in a few days. And like I said, I want to make sure I keep giving y'all this content, man. So let's get into it. I'm trying to pull up my Google right quick. But I know for sure, I just seen before I hopped on here was a Nye Smith was waived or released. Let me make sure I just pull this up. All right, so we got a couple. All right, maybe this don't. So now I'm on the Philadelphia Eagles website, and I'm on the transactions page actually, and I was trying to see if they had all the players that got waived and traded as well, but it's just the players that have been traded. So I'm gonna start off with that then. So the 25th agreed to acquire tackle Fred Johnson, offensive tackle Fred Johnson. If you're familiar with Fred Johnson, he was here before last year, but from the Jaguars in exchange for a 2026 seventh round pick, agreed to acquire a 2027 sixth round pick from the Packers in exchange for tackle slash guard Darian Kennard. If you know, they call Darian Kennard. He's getting not passed around, but every time Darian Kennard's on the team, that team goes to the Super Bowl. So whatever the case may be, hopefully we still go back to the Super Bowl with or without Darian Kennard. But it's good to have Fred Johnson back. The offensive line, if you've been following me, I've been going through the different notes from reporters and things like that. Because we're not at the I'm not at the practices. I can't get in there. I ain't like that yet. But long story short, offensive line seemed to have been having some struggles throughout camp. And bringing Fred Johnson back is going to be a big, big help. If I'm not mistaken, I think Fred Johnson's a swing tackle, so he can play multiple positions on that offensive line. Stalin seemed to like him last year. Played very well. Prior to last year, he wasn't really getting on the field. And, he had an interview where he talked about, he hadn't taken any snaps since, I want to say 2020 or 2022 or something like that. So it's good to have him back, man. And I think that sews up that offensive line to the point now where we'll be able to run the ball at an effective clip. We lose Mekhi Becton last year, or this past year to the Chargers. Hopefully he does well out there, but having those two guys on that line really did help with the run game last year, so or this past year. But yeah, man, it's good to have him back. Next player, they waived QB Darian Thompson Robinson, excuse me. Reading two things at once, my fault, y'all. But we knew he was getting waived, man. No disrespect to him, but DTR, hope he lands on his feet. But I'm sitting there watching the preseason game, and I'm just like, Buddy don't look like he know what was going on out there. Throwing the ball all crazy all over the field. So it's like, kind of got to expect that one to be coming. Moving on, though, we have the day before, which is the 24th of August, agreed to acquire QB Sam Howell and a 2026 sixth round pick from the Vikings in exchange for a 2026 fifth round pick and a 2027 seventh round pick. And then they waived /injured defensive back Lewis Cine. So another player, Lewis Cine, he was acquired last year, I want to say. Yeah, like toward the end of last year, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't get no burn on the team on the field, but was a player that and I don't want to say they thought, but we kind of thought or assumed if he could stay healthy, he would be, a good player to put back there at the safety. He did have a pick this last preseason game, but it really didn't transition to anything. And then the next thing I heard was he was on crutches. So I don't know, man, but I do hope, speedy recovery to that guy. Just some things just don't work out. So hope he lands on his feet as well. And then what we got here? And then we got signed defensive end Jerome Robinson. I don't think I said that one. Jerome Robinson, that was a few days ago. So, and then Johnny Wilson, of course, with his injury is on injury reserve and is out for the season. So, but like I said, man, I seen that Anai Smith got released, and this is all on Instagram too. Let me see if I can pull up something here. .com. Let me see. Yeah, because I thought they had it all on here before I hopped on, but you know how things go. Roster cuts equals wave. Anai Smith. I said that. I hope Anais can come back though, because excuse me, like last year I really thought when they did draft Anai Smith, I thought he could be the punt returner as well as, wide receiver three, but then they go out here and get Jahan Dotson, which I can understand because like first round pick. And it's Anai Smith, who was like a fourth or fifth round pick. I can't remember the exact round he went in last year, but I thought Anai Smith had the capabilities of being a wide receiver three, but also a good punt returner. They just needed to work with him, and that's not to say that he's not. Well, how do I want to say this? He's waived or he's released, whatever the case may be, but he could resort back. Yeah, it's waived. He could resort back to the practice squad, which would be really good for us. I feel like because I don't want Cooper DeJean back there returning punts. Maybe Jahan Dotson. I think they said he did it in college, if I'm not mistaken. But even Jahan Dotson is another player that I don't want back there because you just never know. Like AJ Brown dealing with a hamstring injury, groin injury for Devontae Smith, stuff like that can linger on to the season where, having a Jahan Dotson, you still got like a number one, number two type wide receiver on your team that can still go out there and dominate the game. And then you bring in maybe Darius Cooper. Who else? Mechie. I forgot all about Mechie. Mechie as well. So who knows, man? Like I said, I do hope he resorts back to that practice squad, though. I will say that. Because I really do like I said, like his potential, what he can have. I did like what he did in the preseason as well. I think he had 2 touchdowns, different games and all that. But this last game that he played in, he didn't look well, I will say. But at the same time, Kyle McCord, who was also released or waived, whatever you want to call it, he's not on the team right now. He might resort back to the squad unless a team that really, really needs a quarterback picks him up. As you know, since we won the Super Bowl last year, or this past year, God, it feel good, boy. I'm telling y'all. But we won the Super Bowl last year or this past year, and the waiver wire, you get the last pick or the second to last pick. I can't remember, but we're like damn near dead last. So there's no way in the world we're going to be able to get the players that we want. So that's why you're seeing these trades go down with Howie Roseman moving the picks around, and we still got, I think, 13 picks with the moves that we have made so far. But that's why you see Howie making all these different moves for like Sam Howell and things like that, because, like I said, there are teams in the NFL that still need quarterbacks, need a backup quarterback, whatever you want to chop it up to be. Um, so he has to trade for these players or the players that he thinks he needs because of the talent level that they might have or whatever the case may be. So, but like I said, I'm glad we got Sam. Man, Sam tore us up, dog. What was it? 2 years ago, I went to the game where AJ Brown had the 360 touchdown catch. You know what I'm saying? He had them 2 catches, whatever the case is. But Sam was tearing us up. Pause. He was giving this to us. Pause, boy. Anyway, anyway, listen. Moving on. But good backup quarterback. Even the QB2, I think he could play pretty well because he has starting experience with Tanner McKee having that finger injury, whatever the case is. It's just something that we have to be mindful of, pay attention to. Um, but like I said, hopefully it don't get to that point. Jalen Hurts, QB1, we got to make sure he stay healthy at all times. He's been playing, better throughout the years, protecting himself. So I don't, and I'm praying to God like everybody stays healthy, like the whole team, because that's the only way you really make this run back to the Super Bowl. And then yeah, so yeah, but let me move on, man. 'Cause I know there's other players. I know Eli Ricks was let go. I know. I want to see. Let's see if Anthony DeBona got something. Shout out to Anthony DeBona. Let's see if my man got something right quick, cause I know. I do apologize, y'all. Anthony. Nah, that's not it. Wait, the Philly special. Hold up. Shout out to those guys over there too. The Philly special. We trying. That's what we trying. We trying to become that over there. You feel me? We trying to work our way up to that. Philly special podcast. Is it on there? Bro, I don't know why I can't find this. Let's see. Let me go on Twitter right quick. But I know, and shout out to Eagle Al. I just watched his video that they have a tracker that he's been I'm not creating an account. I do apologize for all this, y'all. Peter Old. Here we go. All right. But he has a tracker of the different players that have been waived, released, and all that good stuff. So let's see if I can pull it up while I'm on here making this video for y'all. And I hope everybody's having a great week as well. Let's see. If you like what you heard so far too, man, please like, comment, and subscribe. I do apologize. Usually I have my stuff pulled up. But he was reported for the Philly special show. Yeah, okay. So all right. Yeah, they got he got a okay. Yeah, they done stepped it up. They got a whole website. Shout out to Josh Davis, man, and the Philly special and Anthony DeBona, man. So I'm gonna read this article right quick. It's the Eagles roster cut tracker who will remain in Philadelphia. Could be some things I already talked about, so I do apologize. But it says Eagles roster cut tracker. So Dorian Thompson-Robinson, QB, Kyle McCord, QB, Montrell Johnson, the running back, he was going off this past preseason. So hopefully he can resort back to the practice squad. But you never know, man. You know how these teams be. Shanderick Powell, running back, was cut. Terrence Marshall, wide receiver, was cut. Oh wow. Taylor Morin, wide receiver. Elijah Cooks. Oh wow, wide receiver. Sidonai Smith. Ife Adai, wide receiver. EJ Jenkins. Oh, he got to come back. Tight end. Nick Muse, tight end. Darian Kennard, he was a trade. Kenyon Green, offensive line. Holland Pierce. Ochan Mathis, edge. Lance Dixon, linebacker. Tyreek Castro Fields, cornerback. Brandon Johnson, cornerback. AJ Woods, cornerback. Eli Ricks, cornerback. Maxon Hook, safety. Andre Sam, safety. Lewisine, safety. So a lot of different guys. A lot of different guys. Wait, the Eagles likely won't officially announce all of their final cuts until the deadline have already started to be reported. Okay. So, like I said, today at 4:00, they'll have the final cuts. I do apologize, but they'll have the final cuts. But the players I just named were players that were cut, released, whatever you want to call it, traded, whatever you want to chop it up to be. But they're no longer on the team. And then, like I said, at 4:00, we'll have the final depth chart for the 2025 Philadelphia Eagles. And we're going to see if they're going to be able to go back and repeat for the Super Bowl, which I think they will. Something else I also want to talk about too was, and I don't really think if somebody probably else has said this before, because I don't never want to be that guy like, oh, I'm the only person that's that can come up with an idea. So, but the Philadelphia Eagles, they already did the first part of this, right? Won their first Super Bowl. All right, we got that out the way. Now we're on the chase to get the second Super Bowl. That's why, and you ain't. Of course, they're not going to sit there and say they're trying to go back and win another. Just one game at a time with these guys. But of course, this team is still built to go back and try and compete for another Super Bowl this year. With that being said, if they can go back this year, you see they're making the different moves. Like I said, Fred Johnson was a key move. I felt like there's rumors that they're gearing up, and I'll talk about that as well in this video. But they're gearing up for the Jaguars player. It was a couple different players. Let me see. But a couple different players that they think could be useful for this run back to the Super Bowl. Now, if they can go back and win this Super Bowl, right? They can two-peat, right? The Philadelphia Eagles are in the best position ever, like any team ever, to go back and three-peat. Y'all probably like, why would I say that? All the draft picks that Howie Roseman got. Now, of course, he's probably not going to use all these draft picks next year. You see, he's using them to trade with, but then he's getting some back. So it's like he's gearing up just in case he has to do something. I don't know. Like we got players we got to sign. It's a whole bunch of stuff. I don't want to get too far into it, but with that being said, with all those draft picks, the leverage, capital, whatever you want to chop it up to be, we're in the best position to three-peat. We just got to get back there. We just got to get back there and win it one more time, right? Hopefully we can. I think we can, barring health. I always say that, barring health. But coaches in place, you know what I'm saying? The standards already in place. Why not, try and go back and do what we did before? You heard Jalen Hurts. He should have had two of them things. Let's keep it a bean. Got me arguing with Chiefs fans and stuff like that. Like, they started getting on my nerves just like them daggone Dallas fans, if you want to keep it real. So, but best position, man. They can hate all they want, whatever the case may be, but the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm telling y'all, back. Now, what was I about to do? All right, listen to all that. My fault. So, I'm thinking, I'm going to wrap this video up, but I'm thinking either today, if it's not today, it'll definitely be tomorrow, but I'll either go live or something like that. And give my and just see what the 52-man roster or the 53-man roster is what is finalized. When it's finalized, and we can go over it, talk about the different players, what players you think we need. But I was trying to find the player Eagles rumor. I was trying to find the Eagles player. I'm not the Eagles player. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Well, what is Buddy's name? He played for Georgia. Oh my God. One is Jalen Phillips. Okay, Trayvon Walker. It says here are two names I'm hearing to keep an eye on. It's Trayvon Walker and Jalen Phillips. Walker, the Jaguars drafted him overall in 22 and picked up his fifth-year option. So he is signed through 2026. He has had back-to-back double-digit sack seasons, putting up 10 last year and 10.5 a season ago. The Eagles will have to give up a first-round pick next year to make it happen, but it's a pick. Okay, but it's a pick that I do apologize, yo. This one was like far. If they do, where am I at? If they do what is expected and make another deep playoff push, the pick would be closer to a second round anyway. The Jaguars don't have a first round pick next year after dealing it away to get the late Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter in 2025. The Eagles would include Kelee Ringo in one of the 3 third-round picks that they are expected to have next spring. A sweetener might be a fourth in 2027. His salary cap is $11.8 million this year and $15.1 million next season. Walker played for the University of Georgia, which makes perfect sense for him to come here. Walker, I'm not gonna lie. Walker, I would love to have. I know they said, was it Phillips, the other one? Who was it? Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips is cool too. But Walker, I would love to have if we can make it work. So and that just depends. Like, I don't know how Howie Rose was going to do this, but you got to pay. If you decide to keep Jordan Davis, you got to pay him, right? And then you got to pay my boy Breadman. You got to pay Breadman. Nolan Smith, if he shows out this year, you got to pay him as well. You might be able to pick up. You definitely sign Carter and you pick up Nolan Smith, maybe his fifth year option. If he he's not, it's not the 5th-year option for him yet, is it? Nah, what is that? He came in with he came in. So when they come in, 23? Man, help me out here in the comments. I'm trying to think about this off the head. But one in it, you sign Carter and then you let Nolan play his deal out, probably pick up his 5th year if he shows you. You know what I'm saying? No different. And that's my man. Like, I know he gonna play up the snuff, but he has been getting injured. If he can show us that he can keep giving us the production off that edge. So, and we've been hearing good things about my boy Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt, so I have no worries about that. But I would like to, if you can get Trayvon Walker Because a lot of these teams are like I just read are in shambles, man. These teams might like all due respect, Trevor Lawrence ain't really did nothing since he's been in the league. So they might want more picks. Maybe they go try and go get another quarterback. Who knows? So that's what I was sitting there saying earlier about the picks that Howie Roseman has. Having those 13 picks gives him a lot of leverage. A team like this, of course, we need our first round. You want your first round pick, but again, the Philadelphia Eagles scouting department, they really do a diligent job finding the talent, and then acquiring talent, whatever the case may be. So, if they would like to give that up and they feel like that'd be a upside for us on the defense, because I want to keep this defense as stout paws as possible. You seen what they did to Kansas City. You seen what they did to the Commanders. We hear they talking. You know what I'm saying? They just signed back or extended Scary Terry. And then they got Debo Samuels down there, but I really don't think they making a noise like they think they gonna make noise. So with that being said, Philadelphia Eagles like it's wide open for us, bro. All Howie Roseman got to do is make this money work and get the top players that he can possibly find, man. So if Trayvon Walker can work, and like I'd be cool with Jalen Phillips too, but Trayvon Walker I feel like will really sew up this defense as well. Kind of hides that cornerback position, gives Ja'Cory Bennett some time to get acclimated to the playbook, and also like I said, I don't know yet because it's not finalized, but maybe some of those guys that they cut cornerback wise, maybe Eli Ricks goes back to the practice squad, or they pick somebody else up out from another team after they make their final cuts. It's a whole bunch that can happen, so that's why I'm trying to make sure I give y'all all the different options. I know I'm all over the place, but I'm trying to give y'all all the different scenarios and options that we could possibly have. Because just like people are taking from our team, we can take from other people's teams. And I've seen some good players, or some players that, still talented, but not maybe starter talent that could possibly help us. So, yeah. But like I said, man, 4:00. What time is it now? 2:28. So we still got like an hour and 30 minutes until that drops. But I think so far so good, man. And also, shout out to. I love this team, man. First and foremost, I just want to say that I love this team. But shout out to Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, bro. Shout out to them two guys, Devontae Smith too. But they released the clip. Mind you, I'm sitting there. You know how you just put your phone down. You start watching something, you put your phone down. I'm like, oh, I've seen this clip before, and I had liked it too. I guess I must have liked it earlier, but excuse me, I must have liked it earlier. But it was the full clip of AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts talking. And I really, if I can get it, I'll post it on here. But if y'all can get a chance to watch that clip, bro, it'd be deeper than football, man. It's deeper than football. And I heard Eagle Owl allude to this because, we're all content creators and things like that. And we did report on it last year or this past year where, BG had came out and spoke, saying that there was some friction going on between Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. And it's been like the last 2 years, it's been this narrative, AJ Brown goes on WIP, why y'all always talking about us, this, that, the third, like, and I understand what he mean, because I had to, no disrespect to WIP, but I had to unfollow them guys on the socials, bro. I think I might still have them on Twitter, but I'm just tired, like, if you were an Eagles fan, bro, I'm 32, I'll be 33, right? If you've been an Eagles fan as long as I have, bro, you seen this team, bro. You seen this team losing the Super Bowl 04, bro. That killed me, bro. That killed me as a child. 10, 11 years old child, bro. That killed me, bro. Then we go into this, like, well, not dark age, but it's like, yo, Sam Bradford, Sam Blow. Like, come on, bro, as a starting quarterback. Then you get Chip Dip Kelly up in here. He want to trade away all the talent. You feel me? Then we get Doug. Doug made me a believer again. I'm not going to lie. Made me a believer again. You go get the championship. Then that all goes haywire with Carson Wentz. And then you get Jalen Hurts, and now we're back on top. And then it's like WIP, all they care about is putting Jalen Hurts down and talking crazy about him because he doesn't look like your prototypical quarterback, whatever that is, bro. And there's always been that stereotype on black quarterbacks. I'm not trying to take it there. But the one thing I don't understand is, when did this not become about winning? I don't care what it looked like, bro. Sometimes it looked crazy, but they get the job done, especially the year before this. But I don't care what it looked like. Your quarterback is the Super Bowl, is currently the Super Bowl MVP. Why are we talking crazy about this guy? Of course, constructive criticism, I understand. But, bro, why are we? I had to unfollow them guys. But back to what I was originally saying about him and A.J. Brown. They're going, they had the little riffs. The man is the godfather of his children or his child, whatever which way it goes. I don't know them like that, so I'm not going to speak too deeply into it. But the thing I can say is this: I got friends, man. I got a lot. Not a lot. I got a couple and this my male friends I'm talking about. Very close, right? We have our issues. We go back and forth with each other and stuff like that. That's what men do. We argue. That's just how we communicate, I guess you could say. Or some of us communicate. Can't speak for all of us, but we might have a little riff. We going back and forth. These dudes is really the top players in their respective positions. Call it what you want if you think he's a leader or not. But we know AJ 10 toes down, and I know Jalen. Come on, bro, champions. So we know that they're the top players in their position. They bump heads. Of course, AJ went the ball to stand the third. And I don't know what it is, but to get that clip and hear how Jalen was talking to AJ and AJ was talking back to him, and then you see AJ come to the ring ceremony with the Kangol on, and I'm like, see, we y'all made it to be something more than what it was, bro. He's just friends, bro. You think he signed back here if you don't like Jalen? He can go. He's the top. He was one of the top 5 wide receivers in the league. You don't think he can go anywhere and sign? Come on, bro. We gotta stop. We gotta stop cooking it up like that, bro. Show some love, show some love, bro. These are the Super Bowl winning champions. But I was just glad to hear that Jalen Hurts said what he said. And if you're listening to what he said, it's a lot deeper than football. Life lessons, almost getting to the Super Bowl, not making it. Then they go get AJ Brown. We get there, then they lose. I'm not gonna make no excuse, but the field was a little messed up. Call was a little off. But I digress. Then we got the collapse here after that. And they just think we ain't nothing. And then to get back here and put belt to ass, bro. Belt to the Chiefs of all teams, bro. This is the greatest team in the NFL at this moment in time, bro. They're on their way to try and three-peat. They got a documentary and all that. But that would be the first team to three-peat, if I'm not mistaken. They were about to set. I'm sorry. They were about. Yo, they really thought they was finna be the first team to three-peat. Boy, I tell you, boy, crazy as hell. Anyway, had a documentary and all that, and where it started is where it ended. Started with the Philadelphia Eagles. They did us, and I ain't gonna lie, at least about 3 points. But then when we got the chance to see them up every time after that, it was belt to you know what, especially in the Super Bowl. So to have all that happen, they have that moment on the sideline because they did tease us during the Super Bowl. Because I'm sitting there, I'm looking at I'm like, man, I didn't even know this was the whole clip. And then I watched Eagle Out earlier, and he was like, yeah, they just released it. So to be able to see that and hear that conversation between the two of those guys, man, I love it. I really hope that they go out this year and put. I really hope Jalen just go out here. I don't even care how I look like. You know what I'm saying? I do hope AJ Brown get his 1,500 yards plus. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe he can be somebody can be a 2,000-yard wide receiver. I don't want to push the limits. You feel me? But my thing is this: I really just want Jalen Hurts to go out here and just keep winning, bro. I don't care what it look like. I don't care if he ever throw for 4,000 yards. I don't care what it is. Keep this team healthy. Keep my guys healthy. And Jalen, you just keep going out there. You keep balling out, bro. Don't worry about what none of these haters is talking about, bro. You are a winner. You are a champion. And I'm not talking about just on the field, in life, my brother. You too, AJ. Y'all are champions in life. People look up to you. They want to be like you, whatever the case may be. Y'all just keep doing what y'all do. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap this thing up, man. It's now from the No Cut Sports Podcast. If you could, please like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe. I do appreciate y'all. Y'all probably been here for I don't know how long I've been on here rambling for a long time. So, but yeah, man, with that being said, man, like I said, I really appreciate y'all stopping through. Be on the lookout. Maybe later on today, I might make another video or go live. for the final cuts. But definitely tomorrow I have a video for you. So, like I said, like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe. It's your boy now. And I'ma holla at y'all. Go Birds, baby. Y'all already know, man.